Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how you can beat the Minesweepers game on Magic Newton. Now you need to understand that this Minesweepers is a game and there's a rule to every game, and as long as you understand those rules and know how the game works, you will surely beat the game because I use the same principle to beat the Minesweepers. Although in my own case it took a couple of days, and after watching countless YouTube videos and understanding how Minesweepers work, I've been able to beat this game a couple of times. So in this video, I'll try my best to explain everything in detail to you on how I beat this game and how you can implement the same strategy to beat the game all the time. So right now, before we proceed, if you want to get the latest updates on time before YouTube content, make sure you follow me on Twitter and turn on notification at OXDMO. And also, make sure you join my Telegram community and my WhatsApp community so that you can stay ahead of the game. Additionally, you can like this video and drop a sub to the channel. And remember, all the links will be placed below this video so you can check them out. So back to Magic Newton. The first thing is to sign up with your Gmail. So you just have to do that. Then it's very easy, so you can just sign up with the link below this video. Now on your dashboard there are two games, the Roll and the Magic Super, which we are going to talk about. So first off, click on the Roll. Then this is where you can trade die and you get some points, you understand? So that point will be added to your Magic Newton dashboard. Now talking about the Magic Sweepers, which is also the Minesweepers, before I show you, I want to tell you or show you everything that I've done before now. So this is my Figma where I make infographics. So you can see that from these screenshots, there are situations whereby you'll be stuck with something like this in the process. So I took these screenshots for you to understand my progress so far and how you can beat the game also. So with that being said, let's move on to the live game. So after I open the live section of this Minesweepers, I like to start from the edges, you understand my points. So starting from the edges is actually better, although there is no way you can open a mine in your first move. So your first move is always a number or an empty box. So I always start from the edges, like the four corners. So I start from there and it gives me a clear idea of what I'm working with. And in most cases, you can maybe in situation whereby you start from the edges and the number that chose is just like one figure or maybe two figures, you can open another edge again. So there's a higher probability that you're not going to open a mine in your second move from another edge. So that is exactly what to take note in your first move. So now before I make the second move from my own screen right now, I will need to explain this game to you. So those numbers you are seeing right there, it shows the possible numbers of mine that is touching that number or that box. Now, for example, although I'll give you a practical example, but for now, let's work with theoretical example. Now, talking about this two that is below this one and that is close to this one to the left, you can see that it's touching four boxes. Now, it shows that there are two mines in those four boxes. There are possible two mines in those four boxes. Although, don't rush to click any of those boxes because you don't have idea which of them is the mine. But moving on to the second narrative, you'll be able to understand which of them to click. So now, let's talk about this one. These three ones that is touching this one box. Now, from the explanation, it shows that among those three ones, that means around that area, there's only one of those mine. So the best thing to do is to flag it. And for you to flag it so that you don't click on it, is if you're using a laptop or a PC, is right clicking. But if you're using a mobile phone, it's long pressing. So just take note of that. So you flag it, that means that place is a mine. The reason why it is a mine is because from our previous explanation, it's clearly stated that the possible mine in each of those boxes is determined by the numbers that is available or that is touching the box. So in this case, you can see that there are one all through that area. It only shows that there is only one mine in that area in the number of boxes, and the number of boxes is one. That means if there's only one mine in that area and the number of boxes is still one, it shows that that one box that is available is the mine. So you flag it, which is why we flagged it. You understand my point? And that is a clear example and a clear explanation to our decision there. So for example, if it were to be two boxes that was there, and you can see that it's one or two, it shows that there are only one mine in those two boxes. So you have to think of alternative way, which is why we made those decisions there. So now, with that in mind, you can see that all the ones are already touching that one. That means the next box is free. So you can click on it, you understand? It's free. So let me explain. The reason why we say it's free is because you can see that all these three ones that is at the top is already touching one of those mine. So that means there's no way that another mine can be there. You understand? That is touching that one. So that means all the one is already satisfied with that one mine that is there, which is why we made that decision of clicking the box that is next to it instead of flagging it. So now moving on, we can see that there is no likely possible move to make again, which is why I will click on this last box, which is the edge. And clicking on it, you can see that it exposes numbers that we can work with. And from this, we can actually complete this game because we're almost done. Because I'm already seeing the parts, but I'll still try my best to explain everything as possible. Now, let's start with this one. You can see that from our explanation, it shows that there's only one possible mine there, and there's one box, which shows that there's that one box that is available that is touching that one is the mine. So we click on it, but that one that is under the mine is touching two boxes, and since the one is already satisfied, it shows that that box is free. So which is why we clicked that box that is closed, because it's already touching a mine, and there's no way one number will touch two mine. You understand my point? So with this now, we can see that it exposes three. It shows that among all those boxes that is there, there's a three mine there, and it's actually hard to work with big numbers like that. So what we do, we have to leave that section and focus on another area. Now, let me explain another section to you again. You can see this two that is touching this mine already, this green two, which is this two below the first two. It shows that there are two mines there. And if you can see, the two is only touching two mines, and one is already satisfied, which means those other mine that is above that mine is a mine. You understand my point? So which is why I flagged it, because it's already touched, the two is already touching two. And it is only two boxes that is there. So that means those two is a mine. Now you can see the above two is already touching two boxes, which means the above one is not a mine. So, but we are not going to focus on that. And you can see that the three is already satisfied in a way, because that means that among all this other section, there is only one mine that is left. So right now, I will try my best to make sure this video is short, but I will still explain everything that you need to know. Now, focusing on these two that is appearing in two places, which is those two green, you can see that there's a one there touching that box, there's a one here touching that box, and there's a two touching that box also again. And that one is not touching any other one. That means that place is a mine. You understand? So, and you can see that these two is touching two boxes, which means that place is a mine. Then below those two is also a mine. So you can flag it, because it's confirmed to us that the two there is touching only two boxes, which is the two box is a mine. So you can flag it, you understand? And it's also confirmed that the one touching that box is also a mine. Now, focusing on these three, it's clear to us that since it is three, that means there's three mines in that area. And now we just confirm that there are three mines. That three is touching three mines, which means the remaining box there is free. And now talking about this other two, you can see that the two is already touching two mine. So that means all those boxes that is there is free. So we can click on it, you understand? And clicking on it, you can see that it exposes everything for us. So that is the basic principle of solving this Minesweeper. Although it's going to take you some trials, so we can just play around it and understand how it works. Trust me, it's very easy, and you'll be able to get all your points. Although your concern right now will be how long are you going to beat the timer? You understand? Because if you're able to beat this game in a very short period of time, then you earn more reward, which means you earn more points. But if it take time, the reward will reduce. So your own concern right now will be, how fast can I be able to identify those mines and flag them, then complete the game? For example, let me say under 10 minutes. Now, another thing you need to take into consideration while playing this game is that you can see that for my game in progress, I just spent only 7 minutes in this game. And if you pay attention to detail, you will notice that in that top section, there's a number to it. Apart from the trial that I have, there's a number. Currently, it shows 4. It means that on that available boxes that is left, there is only 4 mine that is left for me to identify. You get my point? So if you are paying attention to detail, you'll be able to understand that is how it works. It means that among those available boxes that's in the game, there's only 4 mine left for me to identify. So the more mine I identify, the lower that number will be. You understand? So you can see right now that it's 3 because I just identified another mine. And if you pay attention again, you'll be able to identify that among those 6 available boxes that is there, 3 of them is a mine. So you just have to apply the principle that I've said so far, and you'll be able to identify all of them easily. So now, if you pay attention, you can see that I'm almost done. Although, because I'm trying to explain this video in detail to you guys, I spend more time in this page, which is why you can see that from 9 minutes is now 21 minutes, and I've been able to identify all of them because I'm trying to explain everything to you guys. But on the norms, I will just clear this in or zoom on that 10 minutes, and I'm trying my best to beat the 10-minute timer. So at least under 7 minutes or 5 minutes, I'll be able to identify it because this is an easy mode. So this is exactly how it works. And if you pay attention to everything that I've said so far, you'll be able to identify all the mines and you win the game. Since you already understand how the game work, you can actually win all the 3 times of this game because you remember Magic Newton will only have 3 limits for the day. So since you understand how the game works, you'll be able to beat the game 3 times in a row. You understand my point? And that is exactly how it works. So with that being said, if you know this video is helpful to you, make sure you show it by liking this video and drop a sub to the channel. And also let me know in the comment section below what you think about this game and if you have been able to beat the game multiple times, and let me know if you think I missed anything. So thank you for watching and see you on the other side.